please welcome to the stage Philippa Aslanis, Executive Director of Intimo Apparel, Catherine Blizzard. She's a business advisor, general manager, team lead, business manager, customer service specialist and hospitality specialist. Sarah Cummings, Principal Sarah Cummings Consulting and co-founder of Teach TED. We need to accept that we don't always make the right decisions, that we'll screw up royally sometimes. Understanding that failure is not the opposite of success, it's part of success. From Adriana Huffington, she's the co-founder of the Huffington Post. So a lot of people have a fear of failure. We don't like to screw up. And this often stops a lot of people from starting a business or just taking on a challenge in life. So it's clear that mistakes are part of your journey. So definitely. Sarah, can you share a time where you screwed up royally and what was the result? Or how did you fix it and just move on?
Yeah, probably screwed up royally many, many times and often quite publicly. I think though sometimes you just need to be a bit gentle on yourself. So Tanya mentioned in my weird CV that doesn't seem to make sense to many people, I am a marriage celebrant, but when I had smaller children, I have a desire to scale things and build things that will scale. So I started this group of celebrants called Engaged Celebrants, and because I wanted it to work really well, I scaled from the beginning. So, I had a group of about 15 celebrants, and I ordered all these magnets and all of these carry bags and everything that was all heavily branded. And then because of some family reasons, I had to stop the business. And so I still now have all of those living in my garage because I just can't let go and admit one day it will be revived. I keep paying the domain name. But I think part of it not letting go is probably something I need to learn how to do better. But also I think it's just going, you know what? I tried. I wouldn't do it any differently, because if I hadn't started to build it from the beginning at scale, then it's never going to get to where I want. And, I'm doing the same thing with Teach TED. So this is TED, and they're adoptable bears. There's a few out here in the community. And, we ordered 5,000 books of our book. I've still got a whole stack of them sitting in my dining room. But I'm quite determined that we will sell them. But if I just did, a print run of 10 books, then I couldn't help lots and lots of people. So I want to make it possible for me to make this a really big thing, and that means taking a risk and accepting that when it doesn't work, you don't go, oh, well, I'm never going to do that again, because then, it's back in that safe space again. And also, I'm very driven to help other people. That's why I do what we're doing with the Teach TED stuff. And I want to help as many people as possible. So for me, it's a bit of a go big or go home.
Just to give people a bit of understanding about Teach TED, just give us a bit more of an explanation so it gives context to people in our audience.
So anyone who has kids know that kids learn best through play. And what you probably also know if you have kids, that there's a whole heap of medical things that happen that you've never experienced before. And unless your child is critically ill, most of their treatment will be done by people who generally don't deal with a lot of kids. And one of the things that we know from kids is if they're not aware of something, they become anxious. And when they're anxious, they're harder to treat, they don't recover as well, and they need escalated interventions. But it's really easy to resolve kids' anxieties by letting them play through something and being able to talk through it. But because as parents, we don't know what's going to happen, it's very hard for us to support them. So basically we build tools, a lot of it's freely available, we're for purpose, for profit, that make it easy for parents and carers to play with their children through particular experiences. So when they get to it, they're super calm about it. And also as a parent, you don't feel like you've failed. If, my daughter went down screaming for an operation, it was the most horrendous thing as a parent to think, oh, well, I really buggered that up. There you go, I screwed up royally. In public, the entire hospital heard her.
And we're a Georges River business. I'm going to claim Teach TED as a Georges River business.
It started at the local playgroup.
There you go. Catherine, have you got a story you can share with us about screwing up royally and learning?
I think we've all screwed up at some point, but I think it's important too that we sit at a time in our life and look back and think, I actually did everything I wanted to do. And whether you've screwed up or not, at least you've tried, because you don't really want to wake up one day and think, gosh, I wish I had done that all those years ago. And I can sit here today and I feel at peace knowing that I've done everything that I wanted to do. I mean, for me, screwing up royally was just really a boring story of another cafe I opened, and it was I tried a different business model. So my models are always about takeaway, quick service. I love that quick transaction with customers. But I decided to do something different. I wanted a bar, I wanted table service, and all of a sudden I went from my casual, non-pretentious cafe models to this sparkling, premium venue where there was shiny waiters and shiny floors, and it was like, oh my God, I can't do this. This is just not me. I like to be in jeans and torn t-shirt and working behind a coffee machine. So with that one, that was a huge investment in money. But it was something, the vision, there was just no vision. I couldn't see myself succeeding in this venue. So I sold it within 12 months. And I accepted that I built something where the vision didn't resonate. And I really couldn't get out of bed to go to this place, because if I don't have vision, I can't have passion. So I closed it, and I lived happily ever after.
Philippa, Philippa, how about yourself?
I think this time last year, 12 months ago, we are a face-to-face business, and we are a field of bra fitters. So, and there's 1,500 women that do what I do, and it was our responsibility as an executive team at Intimo to ensure that they could continue their business through COVID. So we pivoted our business from a face-to-face business to a virtual business, which is, to take your existing clients and talk to them over Zoom, and then you've got ring lights and social media, and the ring light falls over and you're trying to do a live. And I think learning all of that technology in such a short space of time and pivoting in our business to being a virtual business and being able to offer an experience like that, we had so many failures. It was so, and I relied on my clients to actually help me, and they were part of the process. But we learnt so much, and I think it also gave them joy because they were actually helping me. And I think that is what business is all about too, relationships. So being able to, when you do screw up, that you've got people there supporting you and just saying, keep going, we can do this. So that was huge last year.